Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our NASCAR Iowa race watch-along. We've just gotten underway. They're on lap 4 of 350, so we'll just follow along as they go. I'm just still getting a few things set up. Right now, William Byron leads. We have Austin Cindric in second. Another Ford, Brad Keselowski in third. He qualified, I think, fifth. So maybe Brad can put something together today. I hope so. I would like to see Brad run well. All right, guys. I think we got everything set up. Kelly, I gotta mute that, though. There we go. All right. So far on lap 17 of 70, so 70 laps in this first stage. Not much passing up front so far. William Byron still comfortably in the lead. I don't know. Austin Cindric's, a little under half a second behind, 0.3. But Brad Keselowski's right on his tail, so Austin's got to watch out. Yeah, it looks like Brad's trying to close in, but as always with this next-gen car, passing seems like it's going to be tough. All right, Byron's starting to put a little distance on Cindric. He's doubled the gap, so not too bad. Still running pretty fast laps, 23.9. Joey Gase already a lap down there in 37th. Not great. Not great. So far, we have a Chevy in first, 2 Fords in second and third. Then we have our first Toyota in fourth. So a pretty even mix. I mean, there's not really a dominant team right now. Even though the Hendrick cars are running pretty well. You have Byron in first, Larson in fifth, Chase Elliott in eighth, and Alex Bowman in 15th. And now we're under our first commercial period of the race. This is our first race of the year that's been on an NBC network. Today's race is on USA if you guys are trying to find it. AJ Allmendinger so far having a really good run. AJ's up to 9th. Not too bad. Carson Hocevar, he had a really good few weeks, and then the last handful of weeks, not as good. But he's running up in 7th. He did run in the Xfinity Series yesterday, so look for Carson Hocevar maybe to run well. I know there's not a lot that transitions over from the Xfinity car to the Cup car, but I don't know, maybe it'll benefit him. That is correct. This is our first Cup race. Yeah, once again, if any highlights happen, if there's any cautions, any, interesting highlights, we'll try to play those in the background. All right, we're back from commercial on lap 30 of 70 of, stage 1, 30 of 350. My leaderboard was a little behind there. Now we're back on schedule. Welcome back, Jared. Good to see you. We're just enjoying a watch along of the Iowa race. William Byron's already putting a few cars a lap down. You just went around Cody Ware. Let's take a look. Yeah, so we have 2 cars a lap down. Joey Gase has gone 2 laps down. Cody Ware 1 lap down. And he's working on Noah Gragson. Over the next few laps, he'll probably put Noah a lap down. Kyle Busch's Sword of Common. I'm not sure what do you mean by that. I did see Kyle Busch was at the Speedway Classic last night. Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott both made appearances at the track, and they were interviewed during the rain delay. Really sad how all that worked out. They built up the event, and it looked really good, but apparently there were a lot of issues at the track. You know, the rain, first of all, but they also ran out of food. They ran out of merchandise. Some of the elevators weren't working. So, not great. You went to the beach today? That's good. That's good. Yeah, I need to get down to the beach soon. Not too soon. I'll wait till it cools off a little bit. Used to go, you know, just about every year growing up, but now that I'm older, I like to go elsewhere. Well, Brad Keselowski's up to second, and he's closed in. The gap to Byron's down to half a second, so not bad. We'll move our leaderboard back up so you guys can see that. Keselowski's closing in. What happened to Joey Gase? Did he go off the track? I just think he started slow. They didn't say he had an issue or anything, but pretty much from the start, he went 1 lap down almost immediately. Now he's 2 laps down, so I mean, he's running what, 1.5 seconds off the pace, so not great. Yeah, let's look. Where is Kyle Busch? You know, Kyle Busch had a bad wreck in, I think it was qualifying. Might have been practice. Yeah, it was probably practice, yeah. Yeah, it would have been practice where he wrecked. I mean, it was a hard wreck into the outside wall. Yeah, Kyle Busch down there in 34th. Not great. And not, man, they're off the pace too. I mean, he's not just running towards the back of the pack. He's running way back. Kyle's probably going to go a lap down here. I like the beach. One of my favorite things about the beach. I like getting fresh seafood. Some nice, whatever the local thing is. Even if it's not local, I still like to get crab legs. Some nice crab legs. So Byron's kind of stuck in lap traffic. He's trying to lap Noah Gragson, but he's stuck. And Brad Keselowski's closing in. I mean, look at that gap. Less than 2/10 back. Yeah, seafood's the best. Yeah, seafood is really good. Brad's there. Brad's on the inside. He pulled ahead for a second, but he's not clear. Yeah, at this track, the second and third groove is faster than the inside line. So right now, Byron's running in that second groove. He's trying to force Brad to the low side to make the pass. Byron can't get around Noah Gragson. Noah's holding on. Trying not to go a lap down, but that just... That's a problem with this next-gen car. Guys that are running in the 30s should not be able to hold off the leader on the same, lap tire. That's rough. They're showing off the cut line right now. Bowman 80 ahead, Buescher 46 ahead, and Ryan Preece 46 below. Kyle Busch 88 points below. So yeah, we're only about 5 races out maybe before the playoffs start. So they need to win. This is crazy. The leaders are getting held up by lap traffic. I mean, what kind of race is this? I mean, Keselowski's right there trying to make this pass, but Byron's just holding that outside groove. Lap traffic's probably going to decide who leads this race. Byron just dove to the inside, trying to get under Gragson. The 24 cannot get around Gragson. This is insane. There we go. Brad's to the inside of the 24. But Byron's moved back up at the track to that second lane. They can't get past the lap traffic. It is just a hornet's nest in front of them. And this is opening up the door for the 3rd and 4th place cars of Cindric and Chase Briscoe. All right. William Byron holds the lead. Keselowski has the faster car. He just can't get by right now. Not on the inside. They are still having trouble getting past that 4 car. All right. They've gone to commercial now. Full screen. Let's take a look at our leaderboard again. Still William Byron in first. Brad Keselowski second. Austin Cindric and Chase Briscoe closing in 3rd and 4th. Ryan Blaney up to 5th. Larson back to 6th. Carson Hocevar still hovering around 7th. Chase Elliott 8th. Let's see. Anything else stands out? Bowman is still running back around 14, so not a lot of movement there. Let's look back through the field. So Noah Gragson has now officially scored a lap down. Stenhouse Jr. a lap down. Cody Ware 1 lap down. And Joey Gase 2 laps down. So not great. Not great. Ty Gibbs running back on 21st. I mean, that's crazy. Austin Dillon running 18th after that rough race yesterday in the Xfinity Series. He's running a little better. I was talking. I had my mic muted. Let me know if there's any issues with the audio. Trying to dial that in. It sounds a little hot to me right now, but we'll work that out. Right now, Kyle Busch is trying not to go a lap down. Still muted. There we go. Mason is not happy. Yeah, but I mean, Byron's had a decent season. He doesn't have, very many wins to show for it. But, I mean, he's led a lot this year. But Byron's car may not be the best out there right now. He may just have the track position. Because, I mean, Brad's able to pull up to Byron. Just not able to make the pass. Because even though there are multiple lanes at Iowa, the best one, by far the best one, is that second groove. The inside groove, if you have a car set up for it and your tires are fresh, you might be able to make a pass down there, but it's not the preferred groove at this track. Keselowski staying close. It would be huge for Brad to come out here and win today. Lock himself into the playoffs. So Brad's going to be pushing it, but we have to keep an eye out. Oh, Brad is trying to make a pass on the inside. He's not going to make it, but he is right there. He needs to set up for another couple laps. Maybe try to move Byron up the track. Seven laps to go. Keselowski's trying to take the lead on the inside. That's just the hard way to get it done. He is there, though. They're side by side going into 3 and 4. And on exit, Byron holds the lead and clears Keselowski. Kes just cannot get around him. He's trying. They're showing some stats. William Byron's the third highest rated defensive driver this season. First is Joey Logano. No surprise there. Joey Logano is a master at aero blocking. I would have thought Hamlin would have been higher up. So apparently Chase Elliott in the pre-race where they get their pit road speed, they come around, under the pace laps. He sped in the last two segments. So they're talking about Chase Elliott may possibly speed on pit road during these upcoming pit stops. So we got to watch out for that. All right. Brad has passed Brad has passed William Byron, and Byron has fallen back to third. That's crazy. And if Ty Dillon can hold on 2 more laps, Kyle Busch will get the free pass. Right now, Kyle Busch is in the free pass position. So good for him. That was a 42-lap battle for the lead. That's what they just said over the broadcast. All right. Brad Keselowski getting his first stage win of the season. Another Ford. Austin Cindric in second. William Byron third. Brian Blaney fourth. Chase Briscoe fifth. Sixth, Kyle Larson. Seventh, Carson Hocevar. Eighth, Chase Elliott. Ninth, AJ Allmendinger. And 10th, Justin Haley. Denny Hamlin in 11th, just missing out on stage points. How about that? Kyle Busch, being the first car 1 lap down, should receive the free pass. So if you're a Kyle Busch fan, like I know Mason is, that's good news for him, but they really need to make some massive adjustments on that car. Go ahead and make a few notes. All right. Not too bad. A very quick stage 1. Very similar to the Xfinity race. Stage 1 just kind of flew by. So not much going on right now. Yeah, you can ask something about NASCAR 15. And Jared said, am I live streaming later? Maybe. That's a maybe. No, actually, probably not. Probably not. If I do, it'll just be to do like a race review live. You know, I usually do an edited video. But tonight is SummerSlam. And I don't want to miss that. And I believe they're going to start probably around 5. So hopefully this race wraps up before then. But I doubt it. I'll probably miss the first hour or so. Do I think I can live stream NASCAR 15? Probably not. We have NASCAR 15 on our PC, but it doesn't run well on the new version of Windows, and I don't know. Maybe. We've done a NASCAR 15 stream in the past. It's just, I'm not a huge fan of it. just because you asked. Maybe one day we'll do it. But really, we're just waiting on the new NASCAR game to come out, NASCAR 25. SummerSlam, that's a WWE premium live event. So last night was night 1, and tonight is night 2. John Cena's going to fight, and hopefully retain his championship belt. Back under commercial now. I don't know if they came down for pit stops yet, but they're showing Chase Briscoe in the lead. Ryan Blaney up to 3rd, Brad back to 4th. This is a Ryan Blaney-esque racetrack, so I wouldn't be surprised if Blaney ran well. Do I think I can live stream NASCAR 15 at Martinsville? I don't think we're going to be doing much NASCAR 15. It's just, I don't like how it runs on my PC. They're talking a lot about the Iowa Corn today. A lot. That's the name of the race, the Iowa Corn 350. Yeah, John Cena is once again a good guy. Do you have your Colts winning any preseason games? I haven't even looked at the preseason schedule. Like, preseason games don't really mean anything at all. You'll see a team go undefeated in preseason and then drop the first 5 games of the regular season. So, I mean, you might get to see your first string on field for like 3 minutes, and then after that, it's just the backups playing. That's exciting for Brad to get the stage win, but he already dropped back to 4th during the pit road cycle, so I don't know, his pit crew is kind of letting him down. I know, let's look and see what the Colts preseason games are. So they play this Thursday against the Ravens, the Packers on August 16th, the Bengals August 23rd, and they've just have 3 preseason games scheduled. Interesting. I mean, that's kind of some stout competition, but I mean, in the regular season it would be. In the preseason, I mean, there's no telling who's going to win. You don't know what weekend it is, but week 1 or 2, the Bengals take on the Super Bowl champion. They play the Eagles on Thursday, Commanders August 18th, and they play the Colts, as we previously said, on August 23rd. Apparently, Alex Bowman and Ryan Preece both got busted for speeding penalties. Joe Burrow's elite. He's one of the best. Or he's one of the quarterbacks who beat Patrick in the playoffs. I think he's one of the best. Yeah, I'm a big Joe Burrow fan. At worst, you have the Colts if they struggle 6-10 or 5-12. I hope not. I hope it's a better season than that. But, I mean, I could totally see that too. All right, Chase Briscoe leads them back. And just immediately jumps out and grabs the lead. So now behind them, we have William Byron on the inside, Ryan Blaney on the outside. Ryan Blaney's probably going to clear here for second. I don't know. Blaney might be really hard to beat if he gets up there. Man. Byron's fallen back. He didn't get a lot of momentum there. Brad Keselowski diving down to the inside, trying to take over third place. That inside groove is really hard to make work, so I don't know. He's out in front of Byron so far. I just don't know if Brad's going to be able to make that inside work. And Ryan Blaney's trying to make a pass for the lead. Yeah, back to Joe Burrow. I mean, I really like Joe Burrow, but he just has no offensive line. I mean, consistently one of the most pressured quarterbacks, one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league. He's had so many injuries already in his short career. So, not a great place to play. Brad's still trying to get by Byron. Brad and Byron have been together all race. I wouldn't be surprised if Brad just spins William Byron after fighting this long. Josh Allen has a lot to prove. See if they can get over the KC hump. That's true. That's true. I don't know. We'll see if Josh Allen can still do it. He got married, so maybe he's slowing down. Maybe he'll perform better. You know, he doesn't have his mind set on dating anymore. We'll see. He seems like a nice enough guy. Yeah, Brad's just still working over William Byron. Just can't get the pass complete. He just drove him up the track. Brad just had enough. I think he's gonna... He was so close to making the pass there. Brad's trying to run him up the track, which is smart. I mean, that's what you have to do. If you're on the inside, you need to claim that second groove. Make William run uncomfortably high up the racetrack. Kyle Larson's closing in behind them. It's been a very clean race so far, though. Man. Bowman was like 88 points out of the cut line. Now he's down to 68 points out of the cut line after the speeding penalty. Gotta watch out for that. Well, Brad's tucked back into fourth place. Not able to get around William Byron. Chase Briscoe still leading. Half-second lead on Ryan Blaney. We'll keep an eye on that interval. See if Blaney can make any headway. I just have a feeling if Blaney gets to the lead, he's going to be hard to pass. On track. You know, Ryan Blaney's pit crew can always let him down. You have the Eagles going back to the Super Bowl. It's possible, but I mean, it is so hard to keep teams together in the NFL. Every once in a while, you'll see a team get set up really well and have a few good seasons, but the way the salary cap works and the trades have been so wild lately, it's really hard to keep a good team intact. And as you bring in new players and old players leave, the chemistry and the balance of the locker room will change, and it's wild. Austin Dillon up to 9th place. They're showing him on TV right now. Not bad. Let's take a look. Where is Kyle Busch? Kyle Busch up to 26th. So better than last run, but still way back in the back. Not a good race so far for Kyle Busch. I mean, passing just seems really hard right now. So, I mean, track position's going to matter a bunch. They may have to make a gamble. See if they can make it pay off. The one time we saw cars take old tires in the Xfinity race, it did not work out. It went very bad. So they may not want to take 2 tires or no tires. Do I remember that Super Bowl? I do very well. I picked the Giants to win. I was on board with the Giants completely. I think it may have been the season before, possibly. The Giants beat the Patriots, and I just had a feeling that they could do it again. The whole world was against me, but I knew in my heart Eli Manning could do it. I also just hated Tom Brady with a passion. Tom Brady ruined my childhood. I go a step further. Tom Brady ruined my life. All right, Ryan Blaney's closing in. He's only 2/10 back. Gonna keep an eye on that. They just showed a stat for Ryan Blaney. 3 wins in his last 10 short track races. That's really good. They're showing Blaney's win here last year. All right, back under commercial. Lap 101 of 350. Big Ben in Super Bowl 43 was crazy too. Yeah, I have some family that are very big Steelers fans. Not me. Not me. I don't have an active dislike for them though, like I do Tom Brady. All right, while we're under commercial, I'm going to go obtain a Dr. Pepper. and some ibuprofen. Try to get ahead of this headache. Said Jets haven't won a Super Bowl since Super Bowl 3. Yeah, I hate the Jets. Specifically for Super Bowl 3. I think it was that one. Yeah, Joe Namath beat Johnny Unitas and the Baltimore Colts. And that was towards the very end of Johnny Unitas' career. And he never got another shot at it. So I hold a grudge. Blaney's still close to Briscoe. I mean, just passing is so hard today. Let's see. Kyle Busch up to 25th. I mean, he's only gained one position. It's not a lot going down right now. Bowman, after the speeding penalty, only up to 27th. Where is Ryan Preece at? Ryan Preece down there in 33rd. Huge penalty. I mean, he just can't make his way through the field. Yeah, I mean, I liked seeing the Lions play well, but don't let the preseason affect your view of how they'll perform. You can have a team lose every preseason game and still win the Super Bowl. I mean, the preseason just doesn't matter at all. William Byron has a brake issue right now. He's still running in 4th, but he's reporting that he has a long pedal, so he's going, you know, all the way down to the floor, not getting much response, and he says it's getting worse. So keep an eye on William Byron. A lot of times in these short tracks, the teams, they may choose the wrong brake package, and they'll end up blowing a rotor. So watch out for that. Still running in fourth. William Byron holding on right now. Still has a second advantage over Kyle Larson in fifth. Carson Hocevar up to sixth, though. And Chase Elliott running in eighth. Austin Dillon still in ninth. And AJ Allmendinger, he's only fell back one position to 10th. So good day so far for AJ. AJ is around that bubble. Probably will need a win if he wants to get in, which next week at Watkins Glen, that would be a really good opportunity for AJ. Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in your eyes. I watched LSU beat the brakes off of his team in the 2019 Peach Bowl. It was awesome. He played a little bit in Alabama, so I'm not a huge fan of Jalen Hurts for that reason. Nothing personal, just, played for the wrong team. Well, like you said, Jalen Hurts is not bad. He's extremely athletic. The issue with guys like Jalen that just don't have a ton of size is they are more injury prone. You've seen that a lot more prominently with Tua, the guy who ended up taking his job at Alabama. You'll have a guy with tons of talent just ends up getting injured. I was really worried. What's his name? Can't believe I can't remember now. Jaden Daniels. Yes, Jaden Daniels. I can't believe I forgot that. He's a smaller guy. He's put on a little more weight since he's moved up and gotten older, but still, he's a smaller guy in terms of just overall size, and he will just take people head on. So I've been very worried about Jaden Daniels, especially going to a franchise like the Commanders, but it's good to see them perform well. Dale Jr. is a really big Commanders fan. So right now they're really focusing in on William Byron's brake issues, and they're talking about Tyler Reddick having brake issues as well. Right now we're at lap 59 of 140 in stage 2. So we're closing in on halfway in stage 2. Briscoe's still holding the lead. I mean, a huge factor in today's race, and it may be the biggest story in today's race. Good night. Blaney just drove up the track and let Brad Keselowski by. I mean, he drove up the track so hard, it looked intentional. So Brad Keselowski to second. Anyway, as the leaders catch lap traffic, the lap cars are going to decide the battle for the lead. That's the only way that Brad was really able to pull up to William Byron in the last run. For NFC Championship, you have Eagles, Lions, Washington, Bucks, Vikings for top 5. That's probably a pretty good pick. I would like to see the Lions get it done. You know, they've been a struggling franchise for the last 25 years, maybe. So, you know, it was good to see them perform well last year. Sometimes it's fun to see the underdog win one. And Noah Gragson not having a great day. 2 laps down. Kyle Busch running 24th. Again, not the day he was looking for. He had a fast car in practice, but, you know, that car is obliterated now. So I believe they probably started from a backup, judging from the state of their practice car. So they started from behind. You know, maybe over the next couple stops, Kyle Busch can work on the car, but I just don't know how much they can improve. He's running decent lap times right now in comparison to the leader, but I mean, everyone's lap times are pretty close. It just seems like a conveyor belt out there right now. Larson's trying to make a move for 4th place. Larson will get by William Byron. So move Kyle Larson up to 4th. William Byron back to 5th. We still have 70 laps to go in stage 2. So double the length of stage 1. Jared said for AFC, he has the Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chargers. I think the Chargers is a solid pick. You know, maybe not the favorite, but I feel like maybe they could put something together. The Texans, I hope not. Not a fan. Not a fan. because if the Texans make it, that means the Colts didn't. So green flag pit cycles have started. AJ Allmendinger just came down. Man, it's hard for me to say his name. AJ Allmendinger. It's like his last name's so long, my brain's already moved on to the next word in the sentence. This is crazy. Ryan Preece is about to go a lap down. It's close. But I mean, the leader is having trouble lapping the 30th place car. I mean, this is where we're at. Did I say I hate CJ Stroud? I never said that. I do hate the Texans. Briscoe still can't get around Ryan Preece. All right, William Byron has come down for a green flag stop. Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Peyton Manning, obviously. I have 2 of his championship rings, replicas, obviously, next to me, and a commemorative football for his whole career. But, I mean, I was a huge... I wasn't alive for this, but just looking at the old Colts games back when they were at Baltimore... Johnny Unitas was such a great player for his time. I mean, he could air that ball out way ahead of his time. Definitely paved the way. It was fun. I hated when Peyton Manning had his neck injury and, had to take a season off and then ended up going to the Broncos, which I still pulled for him when he was with the Broncos. I have a Broncos Peyton Manning jersey hanging in my closet. But once Peyton left, I don't care about the Broncos anymore. Definitely not a Broncos guy. I was just a Manning guy. But we're back under commercial. It was a gift from my father. I do have, I also have a picture autographed by Peyton Manning. That was from my sister. She went through this period of just writing people and getting autographs And so she got me a few autographs. All right, let's see. Has Ryan Preece been lapped yet? William Byron's down a lap. Yeah, Ryan Preece still hasn't been put down a lap. They just can't get around Ryan Preece. This is nuts to me. The leader can't get through lap traffic. Ryan Blaney is all over Brad Keselowski. All right, Chase Briscoe just came down pit road. Kyle Larson's also down. Carson Hocevar down. So pit road is very busy. Joey Gase down pit road. Austin Dillon on pit road. So Brad Keselowski has assumed the lead. Ryan Blaney in second. Austin Cindric third. So we have 3 Fords up front. We have our first Toyota in fourth. Chase Elliott still out on track. Denny Hamlin still out on track. Ty Gibbs running in seventh. Michael McDowell on pit road. Riley Herbst, Justin Haley. And you keep an eye on these cars as they go laps down to see where they cycle out. So far, William Byron has assumed the lead, it looks like. The tentative lead. All right, the downside of running long, you do get fresher tires. But honestly, tires, I don't think have mattered much during this race. It's track position. So running long, they're going to have to take more fuel. Unless they're just going to take enough to get to the end of stage 2. That could offset it a little bit. It's just a tough race. If you fall back through the field, good luck. Good luck. I mean, there's just not a ton of fall off with this tire. They're still running 24 5s. At the start of the run, they're running around 23 9s. So, you know, it's not a huge difference. The Xfinity race yesterday was much better. So as they run, William Byron should assume the lead. So great pit strategy by William Byron's team. Let's see. What lap time is Michael McDowell running? He's running a 24.3 right now with fresh tires. These guys all have fresh tires, 24.1s. So, I mean, you have a 24.1 compared to a 24.7. It's just not a lot of fall off over the course of, I don't know what they're at now, 100 laps into a run, almost 100 laps. I just don't see this working out. I think they're shooting themselves in the foot staying out right now. I mean, maybe they could time a caution ride. I don't know. Maybe somehow a strategy will fall their way. But they're running on slower tires. I mean, it's not a huge difference, but they are running on slower tires. and they're going to have to stop eventually. And they're just losing all this time. I just don't see how this works out. And with how sensitive this race has been to track position being dominant, they're just losing time right now. Because when they pit, they're going to lose a ton of track position. I don't know if they'll be able to gain that back on pit road during the stage break. We'll see. We'll see. That's why their pit crew chiefs make the big bucks. I guess I should just say crew chiefs, but whatever. Let's take a look how they run. Brad Keselowski first, Ryan Blaney second, Austin Cindric third, Denny Hamlin fourth, Ty Gibbs fifth. Yeah, all of these guys have stayed out and have yet to pit. Ryan Preece just still clawing to hold on to the lead lap. I don't see that working out too well for old Ryan Preece. William Byron holding the lead right now, the tentative lead. So once everyone pits, William Byron should cycle to the lead if he can hold on. He had a pretty decent lead over Chase Briscoe, so it'll take a lot for Chase to run him down. We still need to keep an eye out for William Byron to have brake issues. He was having brake issues earlier in the race. I can't believe this. Caution on the speedway. This is huge. This strategy may have just worked out for Brad and Ryan Blaney. This is crazy. Shane Van Gisbergen just wrecked in looks like turn 1. Maybe going into turn 2. Yep. Not great. SVG, once again, proving he is not an oval driver. As soon as they post a replay, we'll get it pulled up for you guys. So one person this does benefit a lot, well, two guys, Alex Bowman and Kyle Busch. And crazy enough, I mean, making me eat my words, Ryan Preece is going to stay on the lead lap. That's crazy. That is crazy. You can never predict how these races are going to go. All right, let's see if we have a replay yet for you guys. NASCAR hasn't posted one yet. Let's see if USA's posted one. Nope. All right, they're coming down for pit stops. We'll see who gets out first. Still no replay yet. As soon as one gets posted. Xfinity Racing should post one. Xfinity is a really good follow on Twitter. They post like race highlights almost as soon as they happen. They're a little late on this one. Ryan Blaney wins the race off pit road. Keselowski second, Cindric third, Gibbs fourth, Josh Berry fifth, Denny Hamlin sixth, Tyler Reddick seventh, I believe. Yeah, SVG backs it in and brings out I believe our first caution for incident. Yeah, so far it's been a pretty uneventful race. Yeah, still no replay. Yeah, let's see where Kyle Busch came out. So all the guys that were on pit road, or not, all the guys that were a lap down when the caution came out, will have to take the wave around. We'll see how that cycles out. They're currently scoring William Byron in first. But I don't know if that's accurate yet. We'll see how they get things sorted out. Where do they have Chase Briscoe scored? They haven't scored in 16th. SVG currently scored one lap down. He was on the lead lap. He was one of the guys that was trying to stay out and hope for a caution, but he was the caution. All right, we're back from commercial break. They're showing a couple guys dressed up like corn. Good for them. Those hats look pretty awesome. Well, if this is accurate, if this is to be believed, yeah, it looks like they have it corrected now. William Byron in 15th. He was going to cycle to the lead. That is crazy how that caution worked out. William Byron going from potentially being first back to 15th. And suddenly, Alex Bowman up to 11th. Kyle Busch 12th. That is nuts. So after all race, you know, the Hendrick Motorsports guys running pretty well. You know, 3 of them in the top 10. And Bowman fell back after his speeding penalty. Now we have Alex Bowman fell back after a speeding penalty. I don't know what I said. But now he's up there in 11th. He's the highest running HMS guy. Ryan Blaney's going to lead them off. He's taking the outside. Brad Keselowski on the inside. We have Blaney's teammate behind him. And we have Josh Berry behind Keselowski. So we have 4 Fords up there in the front. So Fords are having a very strong day. Oh no. Kyle Busch blocked in the 48. Oh, they're mad at each other. Kyle Busch wasn't like fully in his pit box, but he was acting like he was angry at Alex Bowman. All right, we have the restart. Ryan Blaney leads them off. And Brad Keselowski is temporarily ahead. think Ryan Blaney's going to get the momentum here. So if Brad wants this lead, he needs to run Blaney up the track. That's what he needs to do. That second groove is just too dominant right now. You know what to do, Brad. You know what to do. Run him up the track. We may get another caution here soon. These guys are racing pretty wild right now. I mean, in a race where track position has ruled dominant all day, the restarts are always insane. Because everyone knows, like, they have to make their passes now or they won't get them at all. Whew, Denny just got loose. Oh, one car around. Caution on the speedway. Cody Ware brings out our second caution for incident. I told you guys. I said we might get another caution. We had another caution. I said it. It happened. We need some more light in here. Kind of overcast. Not a lot of light outside either. Yeah, I mean, I felt like if Ryan Blaney got the lead, he would be tough to pass. But Keselowski was working him over there. We have Ty Gibbs up to 4th. Josh Berry 5th. Eric Jones up to 6th. That's insane. Denny was struggling there before the caution came out. It looks like he got lucky that the caution came out when it did. Now we have Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman. They've both entered the top 10. William Byron moving up. I think he was around 15th. Now he's up to 13th. Cody Ware just lost it. Let's see if we can find a replay. Maybe for the last caution. And hopefully for this last one. Still nothing from Xfinity. They're letting me down today. All right, we do have a replay of Shane Van Gisbergen's caution. All right, I'll pull that up for you guys. All right, so this is a replay of our last caution, the Shane Van Gisbergen caution. Yeah, SVG just lost. He was trying to run long for strategy, for track position, and he ends up being the caution he was looking for. We don't yet have a replay for this last caution, but Cody Ware, again, somewhat similar, just lost it, went through the infield. But Cody Ware was able to continue. Cody Ware didn't get any damage. We'll continue to look for a replay of that last caution. Dr. Pepper. Welcome, Doodlebug. I was just taking some notes, and I'm trying to find a replay of the Cody Ware incident that just occurred. They haven't posted one yet. I'm trying to get a replay from NASCAR's official social media pages. Xfinity also hasn't posted one. We're back under commercial. I mean, we had a very clean first stage, and since stage 2 has started, you know, we've had 2 cautions now in quick succession. So these guys know it's been a track position race, so they have to make as many moves as they can on the restarts. It's their only opportunity to pass. Yeah, Denny's car just is not handling it very well right now. You said NBC really basically stole Prime's graphics. I'm okay with that. I mean, it could be that, or it could just be NASCAR really wanting to push the brand in that direction. Because from what I've seen, NASCAR's trying to be more involved with the production of the races. Which, that'd be great. That would make the product more consistent, no matter who's running it. You know, Fox, NBC, Prime, whoever. I think NASCAR did a lot of heavy lifting behind the Prime broadcast. All right, Blaney leads them off on the outside, but Brad Keselowski's trying to hold close on the inside. That inside is just a hard place to make a pass. He did it. He did it. Brad got by him. Brad Keselowski to the lead. Ryan just got loose there. Just lost the nose. All right. Let's see if we can get our leaderboard update here. There we go. Brad Keselowski to the lead. We're a little behind there. I think that's only like maybe our second green flag pass for the lead. Outside of people pitting, that is. Yeah, not very many passes for the lead this race. Alex Bowman working to make his way inside the top 5. Not bad. And Kyle Busch working to make the pass for 8th place. That caution fell at the perfect time for Kyle Busch. Absolutely perfect time. And Ryan Preece, you know, he was in danger of going a lap down, and now he's inside the top 10. Crazy how the caution just flipped things around. William Byron was set to assume the lead. Now he's just fighting for 13th, up to 12th now. Crazy, crazy. Long laps. Denny Hamlin's reporting some pretty serious handling issues. We could see it in the last run. Denny was just struggling. A lot of drivers complaining about handling right now. Doesn't make it any better that these guys can't pass. Austin Dillon has the freshest tires. He's running in 14th. William Byron with the, I guess, part of the group with the oldest tires. He's running in 11th. Yeah, Denny's just falling back through the field. Denny, on the last start, was up in the top 5, and now he's down to 12. Not great. They're looking at the cut line right now. With Keselowski leading, that puts Bowman on the cut line 40 points above. And that puts Keselowski's teammate, Chris Buescher, below the cut line, 40 points below. I hate this playoff system with a passion. Keselowski just turned the fastest lap of the race. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they call that San Diego street race. You know, since the Navy is making a big deal about it, they may lean into that and they may call it, you know, the Coronado Air Base, you know, street race or whatever. But San Diego is the closest major metropolitan area, so they may just call it the San Diego street race. So we'll see. It would be rough, though. I mean, Brad, as the team owner, to take out one of his own drivers from the playoffs. On that restart, Chase Elliott just got into Kyle Larson a ton. Two teammates getting into it. That is wild. You never like to see that. Unless you just don't like Hendrick Motorsports. The San Diego street race at Coronado Air Base. I don't know. That's a mouthful. That is quite a mouthful. Well, Ty Dillon looks like he brought out the caution. Looks like he also backed into the wall. Very similar to SVG. Let's take a look. The 34 got into him. The 34 took out the 10 car. Well, that brings out our third caution for incident. Stage 2 has been just full of cautions. Could see some people pit here and try to stay out at the start of stage 3. You could see that. We'll see how strategy ends up playing out. Man, Ty Dillon did not deserve that. Let's see, where's Todd Gilliland running? Todd's running back in 31st. Let's see if we have any replays yet from the last couple cautions. Still nothing. NASCAR doesn't care. They're like, yeah, whatever. We'll update it when we get to it. Nothing from Xfinity either. All right, William Byron coming down the pit. I believe he's pitting from around 11th place. He may have been down to 13th. Anyway. Trying to find a replay of the last caution, but there isn't one yet. Well, if they post one, we'll play it. Do we have the PC or whatever to play NASCAR? Yeah, I mean, we could. I mean, the PC's powerful enough. It's just actually getting it set up. You know, they don't sell NASCAR Racing 2003 anymore, so you have to get an illegal copy. You know, I don't think they're going to enforce that law on anyone, copyright law or whatever, or piracy. I don't know. But yeah, so that's already a little sketchy. And the game wasn't designed to run on a modern system, so you have to do a lot of compatibility, you know, troubleshooting. And on top of that, I would need to use my wheel. And I don't like using my wheel at my current setup. If I had a play seat or, you know, something to mount the wheel and pedals to, I could do it. But yeah, I don't care that much to do it. I used to race iRacing, do, you know, the whole sim racing thing, use my wheel, my pedals, the VR headset, whole 9 yards. But it's just a lot to have out that keep set up. Much easier just to whip out a controller and log a few laps. I mean, there's probably going to be a 2003 mod, but maybe even before that, they're probably going to put out an iRacing I guess DLC for it. You know, you'll be able to pay. I don't know how much tracks go for these days, but you'll be able to pay a handful of bucks to get a peek at the new track. iRacing usually does a good job of getting the new tracks on there. All right, we restart. Brad restarting from the outside. Kyle Busch dove it into the inside. Man, Kyle Busch almost killed the field. All right, 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
White flag, 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Uh-oh. Carson Hocevar around. He stays damage-free. He stays off the wall. All right, Brad Keselowski takes stage 2. So that's back-to-back stage wins for Brad Keselowski. Usually, if someone wins stage 1 and 2, they don't win the race. So, iffy. Kyle Busch up to 5th. So let's look at our running order. At Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, Ty Gibbs, Kyle Busch, Josh Berry, Alex Bowman, Eric Jones, Ryan Preece, and Austin Dillon, making up our top 10. And Carson Hocevar just lost it. I don't know. Maybe they'll show someone took him out. But it looks like he just lost it. Yeah, he had a little help from the 42. So John Hunter Nemechek and Carson Hocevar are fighting for the same piece of real estate. Can't really blame either one of them for that, but just looks like a racing deal. We're under commercial again. So we'll see how the pit cycles go. See if anyone tries to stay out for track position. With how track position's been, this race may very well just come down to strategy. Who times their last pit stop at the right time to stay out. All right, let's see if we have any replays yet. We have a replay of the contact between the 5 and the 9. That's our last replay. We'll go ahead and pull it up anyway. All right, so here's a replay of the contact between the 9 and the 5 car on the last restart. So yeah, not good to see teammates to get together like that. But I mean, we've said it time and time again this race. You have to make your passes on the restart. That's the best time to do it, apparently. Man, major contact. In the old car, that would have been a cut down tire, possibly for both of them. Yeah, Larson and Elliott got together on the very last restart. So 2 restarts ago, that's where that replay was from. On the very last restart, they also got together. Larson almost went around. Alex Bowman came down for fresh tires. Don't know if that's the call. It looks like only 2 guys pit. Alex Bowman and John Hunter Nemechek. We'll see if that's the strategy. I mean, there has to be a reason they brought him down. All right, back to commercial. Let's take a look how they run now. So have Brad in first, Ryan Blaney second, Austin Cindric third. So we have 3 Fords up front. Ty Gibbs fourth. Kyle Busch, started from the rear with the backup car up to 5th. So very, very good day So far for Kyle Busch, I mean, that one caution flag when he stayed out long, that turned his whole day around. And he made a huge move on the last restart to move up to 5th. Austin Dillon having a good day in 9th. Ryan Preece was in danger of going a lap down for like 30 laps. He's running in 8th. Pretty impressive. William Byron was set to reassume the lead. Now he's back in 17th, not really able to move back through the field. Denny Hamlin's still falling through the field, down to 16th now. Not great. And Alex Bowman, after pitting, down to 28th. Unless they know something we don't, I don't know how that's a good call. I mean, maybe they're thinking if they pit now, they can make it on one stop to the end, but I feel like most people can make it on one stop. So I don't know what their play is here. Maybe they're just hoping for some good luck, because they have had quite a few cautions lately. So maybe they're just hoping for more cautions. Let's take a look. Who's at the very tail end? Joey Gay still. Yeah, 7 laps down. Ty Dillon after his wreck, 2 laps down. Shane Van Gisbergen after his incident, only 1 lap down. Not too bad. We'll see if we have any replays of that yet. We have a replay of the last restart. This one's pretty crazy. We'll go ahead and show this on stream. So this is a pretty nuts restart. Not the best angle there, but if you look here, Larson and Chase Elliott get into it. And Larson, he got very loose there. Almost came around. And you can see Kyle Busch make that crazy move to the inside of Alex Bowman. Very bold move to go, you know, gain a few positions. And it's worked out so far. Man, Kyle Busch, they're showing a graphic right now. Only 2 top 5 finishes this season. That is nuts. I don't know what he needs to do legally, but he needs to leave RCR. I know he just signed an extension, but he has to leave. I don't see any major success for him there. Sun's starting to peek out here. A lot brighter. All right, coming back to the restart. Brad Keselowski is going to lead them back off. Ryan Blaney on the inside. Coming off of turn 2, Brad Keselowski will clear for the lead. Looks like Busch took the inside again, hoping to make another big move, but it has not worked out. He's dropped back from 5th. Let's see where he runs right now on our leaderboard. Running down in 7th. Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson, and... oh, one car around. Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin brings out, I believe, our 4th caution for incident. Since that first caution, we've just had, you know, caution after caution. So we're going to have another restart. Couldn't get the car refired for a minute. Denny's car is just not performing well. Something with the balance is off. Yep, Denny just lost it, got into Allmendinger, and ended up losing it himself. AJ saved it. Whew. And whoever was running behind Hamlin may have run into the back of him. Maybe McDowell might have gotten a little contact there. All right, lap 233 at 350. NASCAR's been a little slow on the data today. Good night, the sun's coming in. There we go. Much better. I can see again. Well, let's see if we have a replay of that incident. Oh, nothing yet. On this day in 2009, Denny Hamlin won at Pocono. Yeah, not a great day for Hamlin today. I have some notes to take. Let's see. 1 year from now, today will be a Monday in 2026. That's a very odd fact to bring up. I don't think that far ahead. I have this week to worry about. Tomorrow I have a big day. Back at work finally. Another caution, by the way. 38 went around into the outside wall. It's possible the 77 took him out. Carson Hocevar. Caution, Hocevar took him out. He's going to get a lot of flack for that. He just lost it, walked it up the track, and got into the 38. Took him out. So not like an egregious wreck, but once again, you know, Carson Hocevar finds himself taking someone out. All right, I had some notes to take there. Let's see if we have a replay yet for any of these cautions. All right, we have a replay of the Denny Hamlin caution. Go ahead and throw that up on screen. It's not the most recent one. Ashley Hale said, "Let's go, Larson. He's been your favorite driver for 4 years." Well, Doodlebug is a Larson fan. You see his profile picture there. Doodlebug also said, "Imagine a NASCAR next gen race on the Daytona road course." I would rather not, honestly. I do not like how the next gen car races on road courses. Now, Gen 6 car, we're talking. Yeah, we've seen that before, though. I think Ty Gibbs won that race. All right, let's pull that up. So we have a replay of the Denny Hamlin caution. Denny Hamlin escapes without damage. He just gets loose and almost takes out AJ Allmendinger. Not a great moment for Denny Hamlin. There's just not a place on the schedule for it right now, I don't think. It filled a good gap during the COVID schedule, but now that we've resumed to, normal racing and they're adding, tracks every year, there's just not a place for it. If they ran it at any point in the season, maybe for the Clash, maybe, but honestly, the Clash being a road course race isn't the best match. I think it works better how it was, at Daytona or on a short track. But I just really don't like how the next gen car races on short tracks. They could maybe do another iRacing event. But honestly, I just prefer to watch the Rolex 24 at the Daytona road course. That and the Mazda MX-5 Cup. Those little Mazdas race very well. It's very fun to watch them run around Daytona drafting on each other. And they'll beat Bang every once in a while. I think this last year they had a couple pretty big wrecks during the MX5 Cup race. And I think they might be racing at Martinsville this fall. Lap 234 still under caution. They're showing Ryan Blaney as the leader. I'm guessing Keselowski pit. Yeah, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Cole Custer, Todd Gilliland, and Carson Hocevar all pit during that last caution. All right. Perhaps they think they can make it to the end now. That puts Brad behind a few other drivers that may be able to make it to the end. I think Bowman could possibly make it to the end. I don't know what their fuel window is. All right, Ryan Blaney back in the lead. Leading them off, his teammate Austin Cindric on the inside, and their pseudo teammate Josh Berry behind him in third. So 3 Fords, and then our first Toyota, Ty Gibbs, in fourth. They are running tight on these restarts. And Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson are just running right next to each other. They may end up taking each other out with how aggressive they're running each other. AJ Allmendinger still in the top 10. Very good day for AJ. We have all three HMS. Well, we have 3 of the HMS drivers. I wouldn't say all 3, but we have 3 of them running pretty much nose to tail right now. Chase Elliott, William Byron, Kyle Larson. All right, Chase Elliott just cleared Ty Gibbs. Moves into 6th position. And now he's clear for 5th. So now our leaderboard's a little ahead of the on-track action. Cindric's really close. He's on the inside, trying to make the pass on Blaney. Just that inside's very hard to make a pass. Blaney's really trying to aero block Cindric right now. Running all the way down the track. It's not the preferred groove, but he's trying to run right in front of Cindric. Ryan Preece, after almost going down a lap early in the race, he's running in 3rd right now. Great comeback for Ryan Preece after the speeding penalty earlier in the race. Oh my goodness. Eric Jones around. Eric Jones around. That should bring out a caution. He was running so well. Another caution. This is just a caution fest. I'm going to miss the start of SummerSlam because they can't finish this race. Woe is me. The 19 and the 43 got together. Let's see if we have any replays now. Oh, they still haven't posted anything else on the NASCAR page. Yeah, Bubba got in the wall. He didn't bring out the caution, but Bubba into the wall. Bubba's now sitting on pit road. They're trying to do some work on his car. He might have a bent or broken toe link. So that may be Bubba. That may be Bubba's day. I think he's going to at least go down a few laps. Whew. First 170 laps, 1 caution. Since then, 7 cautions. It's just been nuts. They can't make more than 10 laps before a caution. So yeah, it looks like Bubba was having or fighting a ill-handling race car, got hit a few times, got into the wall, and was just running slower. So the 43 tried to get around Bubba, but ended up getting into the 19 instead and went around. That's sad. The 43 was having a very good day. Looks like he actually had speed. It wasn't just up there by luck. That's what happens. Take a look at our leaderboard here. Ty Gibbs came in. Ryan Blaney came into pit. Ryan Preece into pit as well. So a lot of guys coming down for pit stops. A lot of our leaders, I should say. The field is just on very split up strategies. Very split up. Brad barely avoiding that. He was right behind this incident. Now Brad's trying to make his way back up towards the front after pitting. All right, we're back under commercial. Oh, I hope they can just run green for a little bit. While they're taking a break, we'll also take a break. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Thank you about the nice comment about my chair. All right, looks like we're about to go back green. Good stuff. All right, so right now they're discussing tire wear. Right now, Brad Keselowski, of the guys running towards the front, has the freshest tires. He's in 14th. The closest up guy to the lead, William Byron, he has 43 laps in his tire. And the guy in the lead, Austin Cindric, has 77 laps in his tires. Austin Cindric leads them off. Dude, if Austin Dillon wrecks someone for the win, I might have a stroke. It would be hilarious. All right, William Byron's into the top 5. Whoa, they've stacked up 4 wide right now. Back in the field. Larson's going to lose a ton of positions. Yeah, Larson just lost a ton of positions. These restarts have just been nuts. Larson's going to be driving angry. He might make a mistake here. But he was running inside the top 10, almost in the top 5. Oh, 2 cars around. 2 cars around. Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell spin in front of the field. Everybody else makes it by. I mean, William Byron almost got in it. Denny Hamlin was almost in it. Another caution. We cannot run clean. Like, what is going on here? What is going on? Larson got murdered on that restart. He got shuffled out and lost a ton of positions. Bowman's moved up, though. Bowman's running 9th. I think they had him maybe scored 8th on the broadcast. So the 19 into the 45, who gets into the 20. Yeah, 19 just got loose. Took out the 45, who took out the 20. Good night. Alex Bowman barely got through that. Thankfully, Christopher Bell held his brakes, and Bowman was able to get by. Doodlebug, just for you, I think I may have to go change my hat. I have a Larson hat. And Ashley Hale as well. Ashley Hale apparently been a Larson fan for 4 years. All right, they have to have posted some other replay by now. If we can get a replay of this last caution, we'll pull it up for you guys. Well, we have a replay of the last caution of the 43 going around. We'll pull that up for you guys. So this is our last caution, not the one that just happened, but the one before it. The 43 going around. So they caught the 23, and the 43 tried to go low, and the 19 was there. So not much damage, but it did shuffle Eric Jones back through the field. Eric Jones all the way back to 28th. Not great. If we can get a replay of the last caution, we'll get one up. Larson is very angry. Kyle Larson's coming up pit road. Kyle Larson is very angry. Watch for him to either wreck himself or wreck someone else. It's coming. It's coming. I can feel it. That could have been a huge wreck. The field got very lucky there that more of them weren't involved. Still no replay on the last caution. And we're under commercial. So, I mean, these last 30, 40 laps have been a nightmare. Just caution after caution. Kind of how it was in the Xfinity race yesterday. They ran clean for the first half of the race, and then once they had their first caution for incident, they just had caution after caution. It wasn't this bad, but man, I mean, these cup cars just aren't handling well. Just a lot of guys losing it. Yeah, the nicest one? Oh, we have a bunch. Yeah, big fan of Gordon. Even though I don't have a lot of his late Gen 5 and Gen 6 cars. That's a gap in my Gordon collection. I need to fix that. Yeah, Doodle said, thankfully the next race is the Glen. Oh, wait, SVG exists. Yep. I hope it's a close race next weekend. Watkins Glen is my favorite road course by far. I love Watkins Glen. But SVG has been head and shoulders above the competition this year on the road courses. So I'm hoping, since it is more of a speed track, maybe someone can be competitive. I mean, last year, Chris Buescher beat him. So maybe, just maybe, somebody can bring the right car to dethrone SVG next weekend. There we go. We have a replay of the last caution now. Throw this up real quick before they go back to green. So that's Larson falling back through the field. What if rain happens at the Glen? I mean, in theory, they could run the rain tires, but it is such a fast track. I don't know if it would be safe to run them. All right, they're going back to green. We'll throw the leaderboard back up as soon as we can. I'm going to let this replay go one more time. Austin Cindric leads them back off. Chase Elliott on the inside. There they go. Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell going around. And luckily, the field didn't get into them. William Byron trying to make the move for third. Josh Berry on his outside. Now, Josh Berry has a history of being a short track racer, so Iowa should suit his skill set. John Hunter Nemechek running in 5th right now. About to get passed, though. Oh, another caution. Guess who? Guess who? Shane Van Gisbergen. Second caution today. Amazing at the road courses. Absolutely mediocre on the ovals. Another caution. This race is never going to end. I'm not going to get to watch SummerSlam today, am I? I'm just not going to be able to watch it. The 2022 Glen race had rain at some point. Yeah, I mean, they'll just have to watch it. Going through that bus stop at Watkins Glen, I mean, that's such a high-speed portion of the track. I mean, they would have to be very careful there. But, I mean, the next-gen car has very fat tires, very big brakes. So, you know, they may not be in as much trouble as they would have in the Gen 6 car. Even though the Gen 6 car was much more entertaining on the road courses. The Gen 6 car, towards the end of its lifespan, excelled at the road courses and the short tracks, but was absolutely just mediocre on speedways. And now we have the opposite. You know, this car's better at speedways, but mediocre everywhere else. Short tracks, road courses, super speedways aren't that good. Other than Atlanta. They've got to do something. These cars just can't pass. I'm sure we'll hear about it in the post-race interview. You know, the first thing you'll hear out of a lot of these drivers' mouths will be, well, track position. Track position was so important. That's a key word for this car sucks and we can't pass. Brad came over the radio to his crew chief, Jeremy Mullins, and said, "No offense, Jeremy, but I never want to see you again." That's hilarious. So Brad wants to play track position. He doesn't want to come back down pit road, which I understand that. I wouldn't want to come back down pit road either. All right, Austin Cindric just came down pit road. So Cindric's going to give up the lead here. It is close. This is going to be a strategy race toward the end, especially with how many caution laps they've run. So we may see some guys have some fuel issues towards the end of the race. I'm just hoping they can run clean, finally. Let's see if we have any other replays posted. No, not yet. Five car down pit road right now for repairs. So, man, Kyle Larson, he was running up there towards the top 5, got shuffled out, and now, what, is he a lap down yet? Not yet. Back in 22nd. They're back under commercial break right now. Can't wait for another caution in 3 laps. Yeah, bad day for SVG so far. Wouldn't it be crazy? SVG, you know, bringing out 2 cautions this race, just generally having not a great day, and watching him go out and win next week. It's it's gonna make a lot of people very upset. Let's take a look at our leaderboard right now. Chase Elliott's going to assume the lead. I bet he'll restart on the outside. Josh Berry in 2nd. William Byron 3rd. Chase Briscoe 4th. Chase has taken out a couple people in this race. So is John Hunter Nemechek in 5th. Alex Bowman in 6th. Alex Bowman may be the first car that can make it to the end on fuel. Brad Keselowski should definitely be able to make it in 7th. Ryan Preece in 8th. Justin Haley 9th. Carson Hocevar 10th. Denny Hamlin, even with the bad day he's had, you know, spinning out and just having a very ill-handling race car, he's in 11th. Ryan Blaney in 12th. Michael McDowell 13th. Chris Buescher 14th. Joey Logano 15th. 16th. Kyle Busch 17th. Cole Custer and 18th. Bringing out 2 cautions so far. Shane Van Gisbergen. Crazy how this has worked out. A lot of this race is coming down to strategy. Nice JJ Yaley diecast you totally own. I don't think I have one. I have a car that he's driven. I don't have a JJ Yaley. I don't think I actually have one of his cars. I have a late Bobby Labonte diecast, and I think JJ took that car over the very next year, something like that. So close, but not exactly. All right, we're back green. We have 3 HMS drivers running 1, 2, 3 right now. Chase Elliott in 1st, William Byron 2nd, Alex Bowman in 3rd. So 3 Chevys up front. Let's see if they can keep it clean this time. Nice forehead. Oh, no, another caution. Can we please just stop? Stop. I have Tubi yet? The Tubi app is on my TV. I don't use it all that often. Every once in a while, I'll watch the NASCAR channel on Tubi, or I'll try to find a really bad movie, like a low budget movie on Tubi. Yeah, another caution. Ty Dillon around. This is stupid. This is just a stupid race. It's not a. It's not the worst thing that they're having these cautions. It just means the car is hard to drive. The track isn't agreeing with them. But it's not a good thing, you know. It's a problem. I mean, the Xfinity drivers have less experience, and they're driving an older car, an older style of car, with a more narrow tire. So you would think the Xfinity car would be harder to drive, or like less agreeable, especially with their less experience. What am I trying to say here? The Xfinity guys just didn't struggle like this. You didn't see them just losing the car every other lap. You did see, you know, quite a few cautions there in the Xfinity race, but not like this. How many cautions now? Have I watched the Winnie the Pooh slasher movies? I have not. Blood and Honey. 11 cautions so far. We went caution-free the entire first stage. I think the first 170 laps, 140, 170 laps, somewhere in there, were caution-free other than the stage 1 break. And since then, caution, 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 caution. Ty Dillon around for the second time today. How many in a row? I mean, that depends on how you count in a row. That's kind of subjective. I mean, I don't know. Depends on how you count that. Kind of 10 in a row, possibly. Because we had the one stage break, but other than that, the stage 2 break probably would have also been a caution. Cars 1 Piston Cup Racer. What was Dale Jr.'s name in that one? I don't know. Was he in that one? I mean, an easy one is, you know, Chick Hicks. Name him. I don't know. I mean, I was around for the Cars movies, but you know, I don't, I'm not the biggest into his name is just Dale Jr. That's crazy. How many bad movies I watched on Tubi? A few. I'm not a Tubiologist, you know. I don't spend all my time on Tubi. I actually get angry when it opens. It's usually my dog. He'll just hit the remote and Tubi opens. Just, come on, dog. I'm not trying to watch a low budget movie right now with ads. If Tubi didn't have ads, I would watch it a lot more. You know, a paid model, maybe throw them $3 a month for no ads, something like that. Oh yeah, let me see if I have my notes here. I don't know if I'm going to do a race review, so considering SummerSlam's right after. I have work tomorrow as well, so... But I'm taking my notes anyway, in case we do make a video at some point. Not great. So many cautions. That's why you watch Peacock. Other than watching WWE, I don't watch a lot of Peacock. I used to watch it back when IndyCar was on Peacock, and I would watch IMSA races on Peacock. Their coverage of the Rolex 24 isn't too bad. Doodlebug said NBCSN should be revived. I was there. I was there at 2024 Nashville, and it was terrible. Just caution after caution. I just wanted to go home. I was tired. And all that for a Joey Logano win. All that. I mean, I guess Denny didn't win, but I mean, still, all... It's just ridiculous. understand, like, after waiting through the rain. Thankfully, it did rain because I was about to pass out before it was so hot that day. Austin Cindric crew in the 2024 season. I mean, Joey needed that. He needed like a 9 caution finish to a race. And he also needed Bowman to get disqualified just to make it to the championship. All right, leading them back off. William Byron has cleared for the lead. Chase Elliott going for the crossover, trying to dive it down to the inside. William Byron back to the lead. So again, we have 3 HMS drivers up front. Byron, Elliott, Bowman. Let's see if we can keep it clean this time. Bowman needs the win. He needs to lock himself in. But I don't think his teammates are going to take it easy on him. I don't think Chase Elliott's going to make it. So this run to the end may be between Byron and Bowman. And Byron may not have enough fuel to make it to the end. Pixar Cars Radiator Springs character. Flow. Then there's Ramon. Is that the guy with the lowrider? I don't know. Not a big cars guy. You know, I've seen the movies, but you know, I haven't kept up with it since like I've seen the movies. I know a little bit about it. I was always a bigger fan of the Toy Story movies. 6 Thomas and I don't. No, I can't do that. Cannot do that. Another caution. Another caution. This caution's for debris. Only ones I can remember immediately is Percy and Thomas. Can't remember some of the other guys. Yeah, I never watched much Thomas and Friends. I don't know. Don't know their names very well. No, I had a cousin who was very into the Thomas and Friends. Went and saw, like, they did a Thomas and Friends event somewhere in town where they got to ride on some of the characters. Well done. Well done, Doodlebug. Yeah, Todd Gilliland looks like it was his window that brought the caution out. No, no, that caution will help out William Byron. Bowman really needs this win. Yeah, it's stupid. Like, we finally had a clean restart, and then we get a caution for debris. Terrible luck. Terrible luck. I'm sure it will be. I don't know. What will NASCAR do with that side window? Does it go back to the team, or what happens? All right, Kyle Busch came in for a pit stop. Josh Berry in. Chase Elliott in. So that moves Bowman up to second place. Chase Briscoe third. Brad Keselowski in fourth. Both Keselowski and Bowman need this win. Yeah, that side window is definitely a troll. They did that on purpose. So many cautions. I'm just trying to watch SummerSlam, and they do me like this. Let's take a look at our leaderboard here. Yeah, we have the two HMS guys, first and second. Then we have Chase Briscoe, Brad Keselowski, John Hunter Nemechek, Ryan Preece, Carson Hocevar, Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin, after the day he's had, running 8th. Pretty impressive. Justin Haley, Ryan Blaney, Michael McDowell, Joey Logano. AJ having a pretty decent day at 13th. He's been hovering around the top 10 all day, so pretty consistent day for AJ. Austin Dillon in 14th, not too bad. And look towards the tail of the field. Chase Elliott all the way back in 25th after pitting. He'll be able to make it and may have a slight tire advantage, even though there may not be enough laps to make that count. Noah Gragson, after being, I think, 2 or 3 laps down earlier in the race, he's in 23rd. Pretty impressive. Good rebound. Shane Van Gisbergen, after bringing out 2 cautions, he's on the lead lap. And Ty Dillon also bringing out 2 cautions, down 3 laps. And in last, we have Joey Gase. Bad day for Joey. Kyle Busch in a scheme he wasn't supposed to drive at Iowa, but doesn't matter because it's the same sponsor. Yeah, I guess, you know, since they wrecked their primary, they were just like, okay, whatever. We'll just run it. It's a good looking scheme, so not a bad thing. And Larson's running all the way down to 21st. He just got beat up. I mean, he was having a good race, but he got shuffled out. Got some damage. Brock Beard's releasing a video about Kenny Irwin Jr. on August 5th. That should be good. My eyes are so dry. All right, back to green. William Byron's going to pull back out to a lead. And it looks like Byron might lose second place. Briscoe's on Bowman's outside. Bowman's not in the preferred groove. Yeah, Bowman's car is just not performing down low. He probably should not have taken the inside. I know he kind of has to go for the lead, but Bowman's going to end up losing a few positions here. Bad decision for Bowman. Just threw it away there. All right. Ooh, Bowman's close to clearing. All right, Bowman back to 4th. Very disappointing. It's clear Bowman's car is not performing the inside, so he needs to stop driving down there. Yeah, back up to that second groove, Bowman. All right, Byron in the lead. Pretty comfortable lead right now. We're finally able to keep it green on the restart. All right, 60 laps to go now. Yeah, Bowman just did not get a great restart. That may end up costing him the race with how important track position is. Disappointing. If he could get back to third, that's where he probably needs to be. Oh, man. Carson Hocevar almost went around. Got very loose. Carson's already been involved in a couple of the cautions today, and he almost brought out another one. Good night. That was very close. All right, Byron has the second lead. Byron's just, not Byron, Bowman's just falling back. Cannot get around Priest. Byron may not have enough to make it to the end, but being in the lead, he can control the pace. If Byron runs out of fuel, Bowman is going to kick himself so hard that he gave up the outside on that restart. I understand, like, he's going for the win, you know. You can't pass up the inside, a shot at the lead. But, I mean, he just performed so poorly on that restart. He probably would have done or fared much better on the outside there. Bowman's a couple car lengths off the tail of Priest. He just can't get around him. All right. Bowman looks like he may have a slightly better car than Priest. Right now, he is running faster times, barely, than Priest. He's running faster laps than the leader currently. It's so hard to pass right now. You have to be a lot better to get around someone. A NASCAR Cup Series race at Portland would be epic. It might happen. I mean, they're trying to expand to these large metro areas, so it just might happen. All right, they're going under commercial again. Under 50 to go now. Let's take a look back through the field. Alex Bowman's still trying to work on Ryan Priest. William Byron's just kind of managing the gap right now. Yeah, I mean, NASCAR, they, I think they ran the trucks up there this year. Maybe Xfinity as well, but yeah, no Cup up there yet. But that may be for a reason, you know. It would be embarrassing to drive all the way across the country for a race in the Northeast and not have good attendance. It's just, there's so many tracks NASCAR could go to. It's hard to fit them all on the schedule. And NASCAR really only likes to go to tracks owned by themselves. You know, SMI or what's the other company? I can't remember their name right now, but yeah, you know, if NASCAR isn't associated with the track already, they don't like to run there. Circuit of the Americas is an interesting outlier. The NASCAR Xfinity Series will race in Portland, Oregon on Saturday, August 30th, 2025. It's part of a 2-day NASCAR weekend with the ARCA Series West also racing on the Friday before the race. All right. What did I just do? Now let's look at our gap here. Uh-oh. Alex Bowman's fallen back to 5th. Brad to 4th. I wouldn't mind seeing Brad win, but I was really pulling for Bowman there. But it seems like the day's gotten away from him. Welcome to the chat, Mr. Racing. Good to see you. So they're reporting, you know, and we've talked about this previously, but Byron may be short on fuel. Heartland Motorsports Park. Not off the top of my head. All right, Briscoe's closing in on Byron. Byron's definitely trying to save. All right, Brad Keselowski up to third. Depending on how much Byron can hold up Briscoe, Brad might be able to close in. Let's keep an eye on that. Looks like Bowman's holding up the field right now. Keselowski's going to drive the wheels off this thing. Just keep it on that interval. Man, Briscoe is right on the back of Byron. All right, it's down below 2 seconds now. Just keep your eye on this interval right here. So we have to watch the battle for the lead, but we also need to keep an eye on Keselowski. Should NASCAR ever return a Pikes Peak International? I mean, I would like to see them go, you know, to several more racetracks, but that would require other tracks giving up a race date. And if NASCAR doesn't own the track, they're not interested in going there usually. Unless they can get some kind of a partnership deal like they have with Circuit of the Americas. And, you know, no track willingly wants to lose a date. So they have to deal with that as well. You know, who do they pull the date from? All right, Brad hasn't closed in the last couple laps. That interval's stayed about the same. And Briscoe's no longer closing in. We just have to wonder, does Byron have enough to make it to the end? They would probably like to. But, you know, it's just wondering if the demand's there. You know, if they're going to lose money. So they have to balance it out. You know, they would have to look for a date that they think they can match the same amount of profits. You know, they're not going to trade a high-performing date in the Southeast for a race in the Northwest that no one may go to. Another thing you have to, you know, keep an eye out on when you go to the Northwest, especially around Seattle. Very rainy. Which I think they may have talked to Seattle about doing a street race. Denver as well. You know, they've talked to several of these metropolitan areas about doing a street race. You know, I'm sure they would like to get up there, but you just have to balance the cost for it. Probably not. I mean, there's a chance, but more than likely they're just going to keep swapping the street race for another street race. And if they go back to any purpose-built road course, it'll probably be Road America. Over 100,000 people attended the last couple races at Road America. I don't know. I mean, NASCAR's been very ambitious with their schedules the last few years. Willing to experiment, at least for a couple of years, even if they're losing money on the race dates. I don't think they made money on the Clash at LA Coliseum. They probably didn't make money on the race in Mexico City. But, you know, it got them a lot of exposure. Not sure if it was worth it, but, you know. It's not my job to balance NASCAR's checkbook. All right. Brad's crew chief just told him we're done saving. Go for the pass. Only 18 laps remaining. If Brad's going to make a move for it, he has to go now. Just keep an eye on that interval. Briscoe, his car is not handling well. Even with Byron saving, Briscoe's a second back. And Keselowski's closing in on both of them. So it's tightening up. He's just not gaining quick enough. Unless Byron hits some crazy traffic or backs it down even further to save fuel, I don't see how Keselowski makes it. It's going to be insane if Byron can make it. Brad's not closing in on Briscoe. If Byron doesn't make it, Briscoe's going to take the lead. Byron backed it down a lot that last lap. Yeah, if Briscoe gets this over Keselowski, oh, it's going to be sad. I just don't know how Byron makes it this far. Brad just doesn't have the pace right now. He's kind of stalled out. I know Brad's giving it everything he has. I mean, he really needs this win. But it's just not showing right now. There is some lap traffic in front of Briscoe. PIR is owned by the city of Portland. That probably doesn't hurt their case for a race. I'm sure they would be easier to work with than a private owner. Aside from politics, but, you know, I think it would work out. They're almost out of fuel. was a very weird call by Lee Diffie there. They're just telling Byron, save, 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 and he's not backing it down far enough. If you look at this, he's still running faster laps than the guy in second, Chase Briscoe. Yeah, that's what NASCAR wants to do. They want to race near big cities. They've been very open about that. I mean, Portland does fit the memo. Now, Keselowski is only 4/10 back. We got to watch this gap. If Byron stumbles, who will be there to make the play? Six laps to go. If William Byron runs out of fuel again, Blaney is closing in rapidly. Blaney might run through the field. I don't think he'll make it to the 24, but Keselowski is in danger right now. Good night. If Byron runs out and Blaney wins off pace, that would be insane. Come on, no cautions here. We need no cautions. I need to go watch SummerSlam. They're just showing some random pit crew guy praying or crying. I don't know which one. SVG might wreck Byron. All right, Blaney was not able to get around Keselowski there. Keselowski is right on Briscoe's bumper. This is insane. So we have a fuel mileage race to the finish. But it is a close battle for second place right now. Byron's going to make it. Oh my goodness, it's close. He flipped the switch to his secondary pickup. There we go. There we go. Byron gets the win. Crazy strategy race. Byron dominated the first stage until Keselowski passed him late, and eventually works his way back up and gets the win. Bowman's going to be kicking himself over that one. I don't think he had the car at the end to win, but he could have been in position. You know, he could have been in second there at the end. What a race. What a race. We had almost 2,000 viewers in here during the stream. So, good stream for us. Good race for Byron. You know, I wore the Byron hat today. I could have wore any of the other hats, but I picked Byron. And he takes home the win. So, good stuff. Good win for William Byron. He had enough fuel left to do a burnout. So, apparently, he did a great job of saving. Let's take a look at our results. We We have Byron in first, Chase Briscoe second, Keselowski third, fourth, Ryan Blaney fifth, Ryan Preece sixth, Bubba Wallace seventh, Alex Bowman eighth, Carson Hocevar ninth, Joey Logano 10th, Austin Dillon. In 11th, we have Ross Chastain, 12th, Austin Cindric, 13th, Josh Berry, 14th, Chase Elliott, 15th, John Hunter Nemechek, 16th, Eric Jones, 17th, Christopher Bell, 18th, AJ Allmendinger. Not a great finish for AJ. He ran better than that all day, so sad to see him drop down. Kyle Busch finishing in 20th, it looks like. Ty Gibbs down to 21st. Look at a few of the other guys. Denny Hamlin down to 24th. Shane Van Gisbergen down here in 31st. And Kyle Larson, you know, he ran pretty well all day until he got shuffled back through the pack, got some damage, finishes in 28th. Not a great finish there. What a race. What a race. Thank you guys for joining. Doodlebug, Ashley Hale, Jared Salucci. Good to see you guys. We might try to do a review video and recap of this at some point, but I'm going to go watch SummerSlam and might see you guys tomorrow. I don't know. Going to be very busy at work the next couple weeks. So I'll see you guys when I see you. Hope to see you guys in the next one. And until then,